Okay, so if you look in the bottom right corner of the screen, you can clearly. Actually, wait, hold on. Let me show you guys something. So if you look at the bottom right corner of the screen, you can clearly see that it's 12 in the morning. But hey, Rem vs. Donald came out, and I have some opinions on it. So I guess that means review time. So for the people who don't know how I normally do reviews for FBF, I split them up into three parts. I rate the beatbox for one character out of 10, the beatbox for the other character out of 10, and then I rate the writing out of 10, making for a total of 30. Since Donald went first, let's start with him. Now, Donald's round 2 wasn't bad, but I have to give it the title of worst round 2. Don't get me wrong, this beatbox has many positives. I like the flow, I like the ending, I like the remix to the Lazy song, and I don't know if that ending where Lucky from Burger Ball gives Donald a chicken nugget was a reference to Burger Ball 15, but if it was, that was great. The biggest problem I have with this is that, Donald didn't really have many disses against Rem. You might say, well, Donald is a laid back character, so it makes sense that he doesn't have many disses against Rem. Then then how do you explain the fact that he has a multitude of roast against Zach in round 1? Speaking of round 1, I think Donald's round 1 was just way better than his round 2. So yeah, overall, I think Donald's round 2 is a good beatbox, but it has one major flaw. So I'm gonna give Donald 2 a 7 out of 10. Now let's move on to Rem's 2. I think Rem's round 2 is, well, I'd say it's pretty good. I mean, it has lots of positives, just like Donald's round 2. I mean, I like the inclusion of Ram. I like the remix to Problem. The biggest problem I have with this is that it's not as catchy as Donald's round 2, but it's it's definitely not that much of a problem considering how many problems Donald 2 has. But which is why I think Rem won this battle. Um, Hap did make a community post saying who we thought won this episode, and when I checked it, I think Don had somewhere around 57% of the vote, and Rem got around 43. So I think that can give you an idea of who won this battle. But personally, if Donald does end up winning, I'm not going to disagree with it too much. But personally, I think Rem just should have won. Um, Overall, I think Rem's round 2 is pretty good, so I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. Now, for the writing. The writing in this episode was pretty good too, for the most part at least. Um, I really do like the beginning where Panty was landslided in more than Rika. Also, like Mordecai's reaction to Panty's elimination. I mean, just just look at this. Just look at this. This bit is just emotionally distraught. Like, just look at this face. It looks like he just witnessed a murder. Anyway, with that being said, I also like the intro for this episode too. But if you ask me, the episode kind of starts to go downhill after that. I wasn't a big fan of Donald's humor in this episode, which doesn't help the episode overall because that was most of the episode's humor. I also didn't like Hap in this episode. He's mainly just being an a-hole to Don and his friendship with Rem, I should say. However, I did like the ending where everyone just apologizes to each other. Um, Overall, I think the writing for this episode had a decent. I mean, it had a really good start, but it had a mediocre middle and only a decent ending. So I guess I have to give the writing for this episode a 7 out of 10. So if you add all the ratings up, this episode gets a total of 22 out of 30. Decent episode, decent story, decent score, I guess. Um, But yeah, that's all for this review, I suppose. I just want to say that after episode 8 comes out and I do my uh review on it, it will most likely be doing a tier list for FBF soon after my review. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I have nothing else to say. So if you want to go check out half the channel, it'll be somewhere on the screen now. And yeah, that's all I have to say for this review, and I'll see you guys